Costa Titch had gained a large following, and this was something amazing. This man was seen as the superstar of South Africa. He was at the peak of his prime, but one fateful day, as he was on his rise to stardom, something tragic happened, and this happened when he was performing on stage. This was said as it would be marking one of his last performance, and this is truly sad. At a time when his career was just blossoming and also gaining recognition from the likes of Akon. Yes, you heard me right. He had international attention from the likes of Akon. This showed us that not only was he just a South African rapper, but a rapper that was going to be very far. This is a true documentary of his life. Before we could start with this story, we have to turn back time to when Costa Titch really began. This was his origin story to when he really began. If you were to look at young Costa Titch, he was full of life and ambition. He knew one day he would be a great somebody, but he didn't know that he would be a great rapper. And this was the start of someone who was born in Mpumalanga, Mill Street in South Africa. Young Costa Titch had the determination that he was going to be the best dancer. Not only this led him to being the best dancer, but also sparked him to become the best rapper. Take one look from Costa Titch's career, you'd realize that he always stayed true to his dancing. He always loved dancing, and he was really good and exceptional at it, which is why he'd always find fun in dancing with people, up until he later developed to becoming a rapper. While this dancing also attracted the attention of his former best friend, who he had a close relationship, who was AKA. But this was truly tragic, as AKA got shot dead.
Definitely. Sometimes it's mainly just the energy. You know, I'll get on the mic, mumble, and then write afterwards, or the hook just comes to me. Like, I'm a quick writer. I'm very quick at writing. Right now things have changed though, because I'm really pushing the vernac vibe towards my hip hop music, you know. And if anything, what's happening now is I'm trying to, like, okay, let me put it this way. I understand more Zulu than I can speak. All right, so within like the Zulu language, it's actually crazy because I'm learning Zulu while making music. I'm learning it through the music, you know. And it's like things like, for some words or some phrases, you'll say ingi or inge or peti, you know what I mean? Like, it's like certain like phrases or whatever, I don't know if it's phrases or syllables or whatever that you add just before the word to make the term sound right, you know. So I'll sit with my boys and I'll be like, okay, here's my structure, I want to say this in Zulu, and then they'll translate it for me in the best way possible for the song, you know. And yeah, so that's why also, like, when I do vernac lyrics, it sounds believable because the pronunciation is not hard for me. You get what I'm trying to say? So I generally, if my friends are having a conversation in front of me and speaking in Zulu, I'll know what they're talking about. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just I didn't ever like study it or didn't grow up with it. So,
but it's so crazy what music can actually do. You can learn a language.
That's what's crazy. It's what's crazy, because I mean, like, even now, I mean, most people only know Nkalagata, right? The amounts of music I have now outside of that, like in the archives, it's crazy, bro. And it's even getting to a point now, like, this, funny enough, I wrote one song by Google Translate. For real.
Costa Titch remained true to his hustle and grind, and this paid off, as in 2019 his breakthrough song came, and this breakthrough was in the song called Kalagata. This sang waves around, or shocked waves around in South Africa. This put Costa Titch on the map. Now people knew of Costa Titch.
The relationship with Rick and how much Ricky has done for you.
Honestly speaking, he saved my life, dog. I was at a point where if Nkalagata wasn't a success, I didn't know what would be.
After the success of his song Kalagata, this sparked another project, which was the remix to that song. This was a success as Costa Titch gained momentum and continued grinding, which released the album called Made in Africa, which he collaborated
face
with
for
more
me. I mean,
celebrities.
obviously we know each other from the dancing world. You were a dancer, you danced for Cassper,
Yeah.
and now you're hitting the rap game.
Yeah.
Tell us about this journey, man.
Well, I mean, if anything, you know, the dancing had to come to a point where like I had to transition now. You know, I felt like the artist that I was dancing for was more or less living the life that I had envisioned my whole life. You know, so if anything, it just opened the doors for me. It also allowed me to learn a lot about the music industry, and yeah. So when I went into the music industry, I took it like full force. Yeah.
That is amazing. Because you were making music behind the scenes for fun.
Yeah.
Took it seriously.
Yeah.
The song that you're about to perform on the show tonight, Nkalagata. Now we know it's a big song like previously. You decided to jump on that. You're also rapping in Zulu. Like, how did this all come about? Why?
I mean, okay, well, at first, like, majority of my streams were overseas, but then I started realizing that that doesn't help me because I'm living in South Africa. I need to make music that the people of South Africa relate to, you know? Wow. So I thought about it and I was like, actually, you know what, let me do something that's like original. No one's done it yet, no one's remade it yet, you know? And it's actually more of like a tribute, you know, just to bring it back to life, you know. It's not just a wedding song now the kids can enjoy it as well, you know.
That's really dope. It's a fire track. What would you say your genre is? Like, how would you define yourself?
I like to like define myself as an artist purely because I just make whatever I feel.
And the music though?
The music, right now, I would say it's trap, it's hip hop.
Okay, is it African trap? Is that what it is?
South African trap.
South African trap. I love it. 2020, real quick, what is in store?
A lot is in store. Up next, we've got Cotton Fest on the 1st of Feb.
Nice.
We've got the remix music video coming out with AKA and Ricky.
Okay.
So that's going to be exciting. And then from there, it's the follow-up singles and possibly an album, but we'll see.
Okay.
As can be said, Costa Titch didn't give up. In 2022, this was when he dropped a bomb. He dropped his song Big Flexa, which has gained millions of views on YouTube till today, which has sparked attention from the likes of Akon, which prompted him to working together with Costa Titch on releasing the remix to Big Flexa. We could see that Costa Titch was becoming a huge influence in South Africa. People speculate that the cause of his death was epilepsy. This can be a disorder that happens in the brain, sort of like a seizure. But I like to look like there was something more. If you were to look in the industry of South Africa, you realize that burnouts, tiredness, and exhaustion can occur, and Costa Titch was no different. Maybe this was a way of him dealing with the stress through substance or taking pills, and maybe this may have been an overdose. Who knows? But we know that the industry can take a toll on someone, and sometimes it can be very negative. And from his mother said, I can tell for a fact that he never had a seizure. As you can tell from the video they took of him collapsing, that his legs were moving but not his arms, and then further stating he never suffered from epilepsy. And I would like to know who told the media that he did, which leads to my conspiracy. Maybe it was substance abuse and him having burnout or tiredness from the industry. Who knows? Maybe you can say more through the comments. Thank you guys for watching. It's truly sad to see how a former star in South Africa died and fell short to something like this. But it's always a reminder that death happens even to those stars who are big, and it can come at any moment. It's such a tragic thing. But we hope that Costa Titch rests in peace and his legacy lives on. We're grateful for having a star like Costa Titch.